Now that's a
Good question!
Today, we have our next installment of a good question. And for today, as I continue to work my way through the book, we have a question from Evan. Evan asked when we were beginning the year learning about scientific measurement, Evan asked this good question. Why does the US use the customary system of measurement? Well, Evan, that is a good question. If you want to really learn more about this topic, I read a book recently called Whatever Happened to the Metric System? And more specifically, whatever happened to it in the United States? You see, the simple answer to that question is politics. But going back into history, the metric system was developed first during the French Revolution in the late 18th century. And it was a system that was based on not kings and people and objects, but rather concepts, scientific concepts. And it was developed as a base 10 system. It became very popular and to date has been adopted by pretty much every country in the world except the United States. Now, that's not to say we don't use parts of the metric system, we certainly do. But right from the beginning of our nation's history, Thomas Jefferson actually introduced one of the world's first metric systems to our currency. You see, at the beginning of our nation, money wasn't really being printed. We were adopting other countries' money, and it became, well, rather confusing in the early days of our nation. And so, thanks to Thomas Jefferson and others, we developed our own system of money. And our economy was based on a decimal division of the dollar. And so Thomas Jefferson and others thought it would be a good idea for us to start developing the metric system as a unit of measurement across the country. Of course, that required agreement among many people, and that agreement did not come then, nor does it come today. In recent history, the most recent attempt of the United States to go fully metric was within my lifetime. I can remember in the 1970s, we were getting ready for our nation's bicentennial in the mid 70s, 1976. And when I was in elementary school, we were taught the metric system because we all believed at that time that our entire nation would go over to the metric system by the end of the 20th century. Well, for political reasons, that never came to fruition. And even today, we have not fully adopted the metric system. So, again, Evan, the simple answer is politics. And changing people's minds is not an easy thing to do. But even though we are essentially the only industrial nation on planet Earth which still hasn't fully adopted the metric system, we have adopted portions of the metric system. You're probably all familiar with 2-liter bottles, for instance. Liter is a basic unit of measurement in the metric system. So, Evan and others, I feel badly for you and other students in this country because we're basically the only country on planet Earth that is requiring their students to learn two completely different systems of measurement: the customary units, which are officially our units, and the metric system. Because even in our country, even though everybody doesn't use the metric system, scientists still do. In science classes, in the science field, we all use the metric system worldwide, including in the United States, even though it's not officially adopted as our national unit of measurement. Who knows, maybe in the not too distant future, for simplicity's sake, maybe we will eventually adopt the metric system officially, and then we can really answer the question of this book, whatever happened to the metric system. So I hope that answers your question, Evan, and perhaps it was the question of other people as well. So until next week, remember to ask good questions and seek out the answers on your own. Until then, I'll say bye-bye.